Jem is my name, no one else is the same. Jem is my name. Jem.
When last we left Jem, she was being attacked by vicious, slobbery guard dogs. She doesn't die. Which, I mean, should come as too much of a surprise, being there's like 40-some episodes left of this series. But you never know what's gonna happen. Anyway, so she's... Synergy, help! So Synergy projects a hologram of Pizzazz. And she goes, bad dog, sit! And the dogs are like... That's not Pizzazz. And charge her anyway. Jem's like, Synergy, that didn't work, help! And Synergy says, okay, let me try something else. And she projects a giant monster dog. Like Clifford the Big Red Dog-sized monster mutant yellow dog. The Godzilla of dogs. That works, and they go running away. Meanwhile, Pizzazz and the rest of the Misfits hear the commotion. She's like, what's going on with the dogs? And they walk out to the kennel, and they see the door is open, and Pizzazz goes, oh no. The kennel's open! And Stormer and Roxy are like, why does that matter? And the dogs start chasing them. Run! And they hide in the kennel, and the dogs are jumping at the door. And Stormer and Roxy are like, Pizzazz, call off the dogs. She's cowering in the corner. She says, I can't. They don't listen to me. They only listen to Daddy. And they're like, well, when's he coming home? She goes,
Monday! But today's Friday!
So the Misfits are going to be there for a while. A plot thread from last episode I forgot to mention was one of the Tina Turner analog. Her son is a young Michael Jackson analog. Which is weird because he's introduced with the rest of the performers, but he's not going to be on the Jem Jam show. Then why did you introduce him with the rest of the performers? I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, he's a jerk. And all the Starlight kids are, chipping, Bonnie was taking tickets at the door. Some of the other girls are, serving drinks and stuff. And Krissie has her first run-in with little Michael Jackson, who's like, hey, give me a drink. Gulp, go get me another. And she's like, wow, this guy's a jerk. So the performers, including little Michael Jackson, are staying at the Starlight Mansion, and he's like, take my suitcase, I'm going to sleep in your room. And Krissie says something like, oh, that guy's a pest! A pest, I say! She's not really having it. There's this weird thing, it's like, oh, I've got to be nice to him. It's like, no, you really don't. I mean, it's always great to be accommodating to your guests. It's part of being hospitable. But if your guests are just obnoxious, crappy jerks, you could just kick them out of your house. Or go tell his mom. Because Tina Turner will kick your butt. Actually, I think the character's name in this is... Like, most of the characters have completely different names, but the Tina Turner analog is like Lena Lerner or something like that. I mean, the Mick Jagger analog is like David Smith. I don't know why they went with Lena Lerner for that one character and completely different names for the rest of them, but... I don't know. So, now we're into this episode. Little Michael Jackson is still being a jerk. And Krissie has her own song to tell him how much of a jerk he really is. Because Krissie suffers no fools. She will kick your ass. Do not mess with Krissie. She will try to be polite, but she's got a temper like I do, and she will kick you into the pool. No, really, she kicks him into the pool. Unfortunately, he can't swim, so he nearly drowns, so she has to save him. You see, little Michael Jackson isn't bad because he's a jerk. He's bad because he can't swim and has no friends and doesn't want to admit he's scared. I don't care. I mean, I understand and I empathize with the reasons you may be a jerk, but if you're a jerk, I don't care. Other people who are better than me may care and work with you to make you less of a jerk. Me, I will just, drop kick you right out of my life. Because I have no patience for that. Sorry. I'm flawed. So Bonnie is hanging out with the Bruce Springsteen's drummer because he has red hair, so he must be her father. But to be fair to little Bonnie, he also did serve in Vietnam, where apparently she was conceived. So apparently mom lived in Vietnam and, you know, got with an American soldier and had Bonnie and I guess sent her home. I don't know. But anyway, she's like, I was born here. He's like, oh yeah, that's in South Vietnam. I know that. And she's like, oh my God, he's totally my father. He's not. I mean, the odds would be really incredible, and you could see a cartoon totally doing that, but yeah, he's not. So all the Starlight kids go to the zoo. And, and they're like, hey, the Jem Jam is tonight, and it's great because we got to catch a plane to Cincinnati for more stuff tomorrow. And she's like, oh, great, we're going to Cincinnati. And I was like, no, you're not going, but you're my daddy. No, I'm not. I'll prove you're my daddy. I'm going to jump in the bear cage, and you're going to save me because you're my daddy. So Bonnie jumps in with the bear cage. Jumps into the bear cage, where there are bears. And, not a great move. Because everyone's looking at her like, oh God, little Bonnie's going to be eaten by bears. Oh, that sucks. There's an earlier scene where one of the kids is like, oh, look at the bears. Don't they look funny? And Rio's like having non-flashbacks. He's like, they may look cute, but they're mean and vicious. Because, you know, he jumped a bear for Jerica in an earlier episode. So he knows how dangerous bears are. Nevertheless, they make a human ladder to try and get Bonnie out, and they do. No one gets eaten, so that's good. And Rio and Jerica are probably thinking, oh man, if I never have to see another bear for as long as I live, I tell you what. So, I don't know how the Misfits got out of the kennel, but they're now with Eric and Tech Rat. And they're saying, okay, we need a gimmick to ruin the Jem Jam. And they sing a Gimme a Gimmick song, which is a nice little song. And it's got this bit in it where Pizzazz turns into a robot and her face falls off. And it's like, oh my God, what did I just see? It's pretty creepy looking. Oh, also, little Michael Jackson runs in on Ashley and the Starlights. So it wasn't just a fantasy of Ashley. They're in a room practicing. Although what's interesting, in the last episode, Leila, Ashley's girlfriend, what's her name? Layla. It's Layla. Ash Layla is the fanship. Ash Layla forever! So Layla was the drummer, and what's the other kid? Becky was on keyboards. But Becky, Layla's playing the piano now, and I think Layla was playing a guitar or something. I don't remember, but hey, the kids play multiple instruments. Good on them. Let's see. So the kids go to the zoo. Michael Jackson stays behind. Krissie stays behind, and he climbs up a water tower to get away from her, and she climbs halfway up and then has flashbacks about the time she climbed the scaffolding at the music awards, that episode, and fell off, nearly died. So she makes it halfway up, and she's like, nope! And he's like, okay. And so they bond over their, you know, admitting being afraid is okay, and so he's less of a jerk now, because she's going to teach him how to swim. If only de-jerking people worked that well in real life, that would be lovely if it were that easy. Maybe it is, and I just don't try. Who knows? So, yeah. The final song at the Jem Jam is pretty good and closer to what I would have liked with the duet with the old rock and roll guy a couple episodes back. It actually has the various analog, you know, the Tina Turner and Mick Jagger and stuff like that, Stevie Wonder. Actually has them trading lead verses.
That's you and me is for the melody. That's you and me get into harmony. Babe, you and me, we make a symphony. Oh, listen to the beat. Babe, you sure make the music sweet.
Works pretty decently. It's a much better multi-part duet than than I think the 50s one was. Old and New, I think the episode is. This episode again ends early, encores 2 of the songs, and then does another PSA, which is an interesting one. Ashley and someone are in a music store buying cassette tapes, because that was the thing back in the 80s. And she grabs a Jem and the Holograms cassette and says, "I'm gonna steal this, because I want it, and I have no money." And Ashley, no, don't steal it. Don't steal. Stealing is wrong. And she goes, "Yeah, you're right." And Jem's standing there, and she goes, yeah, don't steal stuff. It's uncool. It's like, oh my god, how embarrassing would that be? I mean, first of all, you just thought about stealing something, and your best friend is like, dude, no, dude, no. Don't do that. That makes you a horrible person. I think less of you. It's like, oh, man. Now I feel horrible about thinking about stealing a Jem and the Holograms cassette. Oh god, Jem is right there. I'm sorry. I'm such a horrible person. I mean, wow, that would suck. I mean, not only getting caught stealing, but being caught by the person whose stuff you're stealing. Man, that would suck. Anyway, interesting set of episodes. By the way, Bonnie comes to terms with the fact that the drummer guy is not her daddy. But maybe we'll see him in future episodes. Interesting set of episodes. Much more concerned with the kids than the actual Holograms and the Misfits shenanigans. Oh, speaking of which, Tech Rat's new gimmick is a floating, flying stage platform that the Misfits crash the Jem Jam on. So, there's the whole the stage in the amphitheater where everyone's watching the Jem Jam, and this flying saucer-like stage comes floating in with the Misfits on it. Like, oh, we're going to do a party. And people are like, oh god, aliens, run! And they bump into Tech Rat, who has the controls, and they break, and so the thing crashes and goes out of control, and the Holograms are, bye, Misfits! Try not to die! And they crash into a tree, and they don't die, but they get very angry at Tech Rat and Eric, and they chase them around. Haha, shenanigans. So, that's the episode. It's fun. And there's lots more to watch, so... Next!